Hello, everyone. This is Andreas, pop culture guy. Me and Jeff True Knowledge here, are back again to do another spectacular live stream. And of course, our live stream review will be X-Men: Days of Future Past for its 10th anniversary. Jeff, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, sir.
Awesome. So we are here again after 2 weeks since we did the Trek review, and today we're going to discuss an in-depth of X-Men Days of Future Past. Plus, we got a couple trailers that we're going to show. Hopefully, it works. If not, I have the trailers up to share it just in case. Yeah,
Sorry about
no worries, no worries. Uh, I mean, folks, when you convert these to I don't know, for live stream review for the StreamYard, it's ridiculous and a bitch. Anyway, so sir, how's your Memorial Day weekend going?
it's just like any weekend for the most part, man. It doesn't feel any different.
Yeah, it feels like a Monday. Um, for some reason, that's kind of weird because tomorrow is Monday.
It almost is Monday, man.
It's almost, yeah. That's very true. So anyway, so X-Men Days of Future Past. This is the seventh um installment of the Fox X-Men you know universe slash film franchise. And I think this is the fifth mainline timeline installment for the main X-Men series, besides spin-offs like the and it's directed by, of course, Bryan Singer, written by Simon Kinberg, who shared the story that he created with the previous writers from X-Men First Class, Jane Goldman and Matthew Vaughn. And this is a sequel to pretty much all three installments, which is kind of crazy. The Last Stand, First Class, and the Wolverine that came out the year before this movie came out, 2013. So it stars Hugh Jackman, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, Halle Berry, and of course Peter Dinklage, Ian McKellen, and Patrick Stewart. And of course, the story is inspired by the 1981 Uncanny X-Men storyline, of course, titled improperly Days of Future Past by Chris Claremont and John Byrne, where this is pretty much focusing on two time periods, with Logan traveling back in time to 1973 to change and prevent a catastrophic event that will result in extinction slash destruction of both humans and mutants. So, sir, let me have this. Let's before we go into like the scene by scene, I say discussion of the film. What's your overall thoughts on X-Men: Days of Future Past? Does it high in your rank in terms of the X-Men films? What's your opinion on this?
Well, what other thoughts besides oral were you hoping that I was going to give you? So was I supposed to Professor X them to the audience and everything and whatnot to you or some shit? Like was I supposed to just be like?
Well, I mean, we're in.
Should I just head bob and shit and whatnot and hope that maybe I'll gain the power of telekinesis or telepathy or some shit?
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny that you asked me that question. Yes, sir. I will orally, vocally give my thoughts on X-Men Days of Future Past. And by the way, I have that Beetlejuice trailer in the pipeline.
Yep.
So you're welcome, sir. No, you know what? I was a fan of the Fox X-Men films, and the reason why I paused is because I'm trying to remember when I watched this. Because 2013 is 1 year away from 2014, and 2014 was when I got hurt, right? So, so I'm just trying to, correlate when I would have watched this film. I never saw any of the Fox X-Men films in the movie theater. I never had any desire to go see superhero films in the theater until, the MCU films, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'd say probably I saw it. It would have came out on TV late 2013, 2014. So I saw it after I got hurt, probably, and that was back when it would have been on HBO and things like that and whatnot. Like I had cable, right? So really, like, what I'm getting to is that when I watched the movie, for once, I didn't watch it today. I watched it because I had time to kill. I watched it not yesterday, but the day before that. I watched it, and so long story short, the movie didn't feel new to me. I knew it. I knew the events that occurred in it for the most part. I was a little bit surprised by some of the things that happened in the second half of the film and the ending of the film, whatnot, and everything, right? I'd forgotten those parts, which makes me think probably the first time I watched it or whatever, maybe I only watched the first half of it or something. You know what I mean? Because, like, I totally didn't even have any remembrance at all of the Sentinels, like, and all that shit and whatnot, right? I did not. But I kind of did. So basically, I'd say that my watch of X-Men 97 the other day, X-Men 97, X-Men Days of Future Past, was really refreshing because it, hey, Cyber, it felt like a movie that I'd seen, but that I really hadn't maybe paid attention too much to when I watched it before, and now this time I really was fully invested into it, all the way through, right? Seed to seed and all that, right? Like I was fully, paying attention to all the details and all that. And it's a really well put together movie. It really is. It's well done. It's crazy to think that, like, when the original Fox trilogy of X-Men movies finished, and then they came out with the First Class stuff, is right? That's what it's called?
Yeah, the First Class, or the prequel, whatever you want to call it.
That was a really great evolution. Like that was a really, if you were like it felt like a really good move. It was like, okay, how is this going to work out with them, like, making new X-Men films, and they're going to change the characters and all that stuff and whatnot. Well, this is before the MCU, right? Like, kind of back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first one of the rebooted X-Men films or whatever, whatnot, the First Class came out in like 2011, right?
Yeah, it was before the Avengers came out, so it was like in Phase 1 when the MCU was building. So
yes, so it was a different era of superheroes in cinema, and so things were more wide open, and Marvel had not set itself out as like the MCU yet. They had not, like, the Avengers was what took them over the top. They hadn't quite reached that point yet. So I guess my point is just that they made some quality films. I don't know what happened with Apocalypse. I couldn't even watch that. That was so fucking terrible. And then Apocalypse was so bad that I didn't watch Dark Phoenix because Apocalypse was so bad that it was like, oh God, like, once I heard like people talking about Dark Phoenix and how bad that was immediately, I was like, oh fuck, I'm never watching that. You know what I'm saying? And I probably never will.
No, I'm in the same boat as you. So, I mean, after Days of Future Past, I didn't see. I saw Apocalypse. I was very disappointed with it. It was bad. I mean, it was really like it was the X-Men: The Last Stand for me, and I didn't see Dark Phoenix at all because when I heard the bad reviews of that film, I was like, I'm not going because I was very disappointed with Apocalypse, and plus, they were already bought by Disney at that point. It's like, so why you were making another another sequel of these, the fact that you're going to reboot anyway. So it was just like, it's
amazing. It's amazing the power of like hearing people say negative shit about movies and TV series to you and things like that and whatnot, because like, it's like the New Mutants, right? Movie, the Marvel Studios, the one that Sony started and then Marvel ended up having to make, right? It took them like 5 years to make it or whatever. Like, Yeah, I watched the first half of it, and it wasn't that bad. It was like the build-up part. It wasn't even like, and none of the good shit had happened yet, right? It was the build-up. And I stopped watching it, and I never went back and finished it because of how badly it was talked about, right? I was like, in my head, I was like, why should I go waste my time and go finish this movie, right? That I didn't finish the first time when everybody told me already it's terrible.
Yep. Yeah, it's
right?
very true. Yeah. I same here, brother. Saber, hello, Saber, how you doing? Saber, I do agree. I did see bits of Dark Phoenix. I will say Dark Phoenix is a better movie over Apocalypse, but that's not saying much. I have to say, but I'm happy you like it. It's better than X-Men: The Last Stand in terms of adapting the Dark Phoenix saga, because at least Dark Phoenix feels more comic accurate, if I have to say.
I like how this large, the kind of tight X-Men t-shirt looks on me. It makes me look a little bit more jacked than I actually am.
Yeah.
More buff.
Oh my god. I love that shirt, and great that you wear the hat. I love that we're matching finally after so many X-Men reviews we've been doing. Oh dear. I can't believe it. Tomorrow's X-Men 97, the finale, the season finale for one.
I know, time flies. This year's flying by.
Yeah, I know.
Before you know it, we'll be covered in House of the Dragon.
Oh, I know. In 2 weeks. Oh, crazy. LOL.
The first episode review of The Acolyte is next week.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend. A friend invited me for lunch today, and we were talking like what shows I was watching, and then I brought up The Acolyte, and I remember it was this week, right? Like in June 4th, it's coming out.
Yeah, then we're doing the first review on the 5th. I think they're dropping 2 episodes, and we're going to start off with just the one, so we'll be a week behind.
Yeah. What day this is releasing? That Acolyte. I'm sorry to change the subject, but like, when is that?
It is the 4th. I believe it is the 4th.
Yeah, 4th. Hold on, I should put up the camera. I'm sorry.
Cyber's gonna love it. Cyber's gonna love what I did with the schedule today. When we do the Rings of Power. Since they're going to drop the first 3 episodes of the Rings of Power, right, in one shot, and then they're going to drop the five after weekly, right? And I actually want to get caught up in real time with the series. I like being in real time with the series, right? Like, so more people will come watch us. You know what I mean and whatnot, and like the shit will be more relevant when we cover it, right? Like, it's not complicated why I want to do it. I want to be in real time if possible. I don't mind like splitting it up and being a week behind. But I'd rather be like caught up. So either way, I scheduled the Rings of Power to where the first 3 episodes drop on a Thursday. The first 3 episode shows are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that weekend.
Whoa!
One episode per night, and then we'll be caught up by the next week, and we'll be able to start. We'll be able to go right in and do episode 4 on that Friday.
Whoa! So you and Saber are going to do the Rings of Power this year? Oh wow! That's crazy.
You're doing Rings of Power, motherfucker.
I mean...
You're a member of the MCU's Bleeding Edge, bitch. Like, when we cover, you cover.
Well, I didn't agree to do yours. I agree on doing House of Dragon, and that's it. And I mean the Acolyte for first 2 episodes if it's good. That's my agreement.
You loved Ahsoka. You love it all. You loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was great. I'm not complaining. I'm just not excited for the Acolyte. But we'll see. You know, it's just the trailers. The trailers were bad. I mean, the first trailer was not good. The second one was much better, I will say.
We've got a lot of people coming on for the Acolyte. So if you want to drop off some Acolyte shows, whatnot, that's a good time.
Yeah. So I'm going to stick with the first 2 episodes. And if it's good, I will continue on. No worries, folks. And by the way, I'm sorry I wasn't in the Fallout. I was just under the weather, folks. But please check us on.
That's Friday. Okay. That's all right. We struggled through it without you. We missed you. We did without you there. You were. It's all right. But you were missed.
Oh wow.
Your impact. Your lack of impact on the show was felt because episode 7 was very flat.
Wow. What's this? Yeah, episode 7 was okay, if I remember correctly. I haven't. I need to remember.
The Rings of Power was not bad. Cyber and I pretty much liked it. We found it entertaining. So, like, who knows? Season 2 could be okay. But we covered season 1, so we're going to cover season 2. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And I don't care. And I want to be caught up in real time. So if Simon wants to leave me hanging, and I've got to if he's got to work and stuff like that, or do family stuff or whatever, I'll find people to come on and record with me on Saturday and Sunday and whatnot, and do episodes 2 and 3.
I can. Where is this episode? Yeah, it's Amazon Prime, right? The Rings of Power is from Amazon Prime. So I definitely will help you. We'll get back to expectation pretty fast, but we'll definitely give.
You'll help me.
Yeah, I'll help you Friday and Sunday. Just
okay.
The fuller, and then So I now need to bench watch the first season, see how it goes. How many episodes is the first season? May I ask?
Oh, jeez, 9.
Oh, okay. It's not that.
I think 8 or 9.
Yeah, I mean, just like the Fallout, I went quickly, so it's not a big.
Yeah, I was looking at our schedule. We'll talk about it some more tomorrow, obviously, in the Bleeding Edge report. But I was looking at it today.
Yeah,
just laying it out and whatnot and everything. Now that we've got Agatha worked out and incorporated in there, right? Are you excited for House of the Dragon?
Yes. So today, it's Memorial Day weekend. I've been watching the last 2 episodes for the House of Dragon, so almost done. So I cannot say much. So far, I'm very excited to watch the show for the season 2. So.
Are you excited that we're interconnecting it with Jermaine's YouTube channel and shit, whatnot, and everything? We're gonna do our first interconnected Bleeding Edge report deal.
Oh yeah.
Did I tell you about that?
No, I didn't
have a chance. I didn't have a chance to tell you. Yeah, we haven't talked about it because we don't have you and I don't have meetings.
No. Yeah.
Jermaine and I worked it out to where we're going to connect the whole series with his YouTube channel, his newer one, not the Star Trek one, the other one. And he has a co-host that did the first season with him. Ellie is her name. So we already have Dom on our team, and I've already got 2 people from last year that did the year before, 2 years ago, that did season 1 with me that will come on. Our mainstays will be me, you, and Dom, right? And then Jermaine and I are gonna host moderate the episodes in rotation, just like me and Cyber do. I'll do the first one, he'll do the second one. We'll do the shows on our channel, on the Bleeding Edge, and everything. But we'll go ahead and give him the files. He'll put them up on his channel so that we can all share it.
Yeah. Okay.
And he'll bring we'll probably have some long shows because it's only fair for him to bring some of his people in, and he's got a team, so he'll be bringing some of his people in too, on the episode reviews. So it's going to be 3 of us already with me, you, and Dom. So we might have some. We might have some big shows.
Yeah. I mean, as expected. I mean,
but you'll be happy, I figured, because there'll be people on every show. There'll be other people, new people.
Yeah. I mean, like the X-Men 97 reviews. It's been fun with the other guests. It's been really good.
And some of these people are off the chain too. They're black people, man. They're funny. They're black women and shit and whatnot. They're funny, dude. They're off the chain. Cyber's met some of them. They did Willow with us. Some of Jermaine's people. Yeah. You'll like them.
Oh my god, Willow. Oh god, that is great. All right, that's good to hear. So, that's where we're at. So everyone wants to know what's going on for our schedule. Tomorrow is X-Men 97, season 1, season 1 family review, or season 6 review. We already want to title it. We're going to review that. We're going to have some guests there. Plus, we're going to go over some pop culture news. I'm blanking what pop culture news we're discussing, but
we'll see if our guest is going to come on or not. He's a big fish on YouTuber. His name is Comic Book Nostalgia, and I reached out to him on Twitter and whatnot. Everything he said he was going to do the show, but the last couple times I messaged him, he hasn't responded back.
Okay, that's weird.
I don't know why, but we'll see.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. If not, that's fine. We'll have
we'll rough it out.
We'll rough it out. So it's it's not a big deal. So we're reviewing that. We're reviewing some the news of the Hawkeye, season 2 review, some of James Gunn's recent stuff, and then what else?
I've been prepping for an entire evaluation of Gunn's whole slate. That's what I've been getting ready to prepare.
Yeah. What else? Yeah.
You better bring your A game, sir. You don't want me to out DC you on the show.
Oh, please. I mean, the only recent news, like, I'm surprised we're talking about more about gun. Well, yeah, there's been recent news. I mean, right, with DC stuff. I mean, besides
We
Supergirl.
on the MCU's Bleeding Edge YouTube channel podcast, since we did like a year ago or whatever, since we played the whole Gun Saffron Slate show video he did, right? Which we're going to play tomorrow night, folks. We're going to play it, right? On the show to start the segment. We're going to play the whole thing all the way through again, just like we did a year ago. That was a show we had Ryan Meir on, the reactor, the one that introduced me to Bandmate.
Okay.
Since we did that show and laid that whole thing out, right, for over 2 hours, we haven't touched it. Other than what we've covered a little bit here and there on the Bleeding Edge report, right? Like the castings and whatnot and all that. So I think it's time that we address where they're at with the slate, what we know about what release dates there are for what's coming out when, at least, right? What little bit of information we know about each series, each show. We'll go down the list. Creature Commandos, Swamp Thing, right? What do we know? You know what I'm saying? Right? Where are things at right now?
Yeah, I saw some news with the Lanterns, so I definitely can. I had that cover, so I need to.
Like now we know Waller's not coming out until after Peacemaker season 2, right?
Okay.
You know,
okay,
that's the kind of stuff. That's one of the kind of stuff I want to talk about. Is like give people some updates on where these projects are at.
Yeah, especially movies. We now know that Superman's coming out next year, and then 2026 we have Supergirl. So
but beyond that, though, the other stuff.
The other stuff. I wonder what's the third one going to be like after Supergirl.
I mean, we already know that Frank Grillo is going to come over and be. He's going to come over and be in
Picture. No.
He's going to do live action in one of the other films. I forget which one it is, but he's going to cross over from Creature Commandos, right, for one of the projects, and it's going to happen in one of the first couple. He's going to be in Waller.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because remember everyone doesn't know, Waller. She always has a Rick as like a right hand man. So we had Rick Flag, played by Joel Kinnaman for the movies. It makes sense to have like an older like Rick to be on her side.
I know. And what is Rick Senior? What's Flag Senior going to think about Peacemaker? That Peacemaker killed his son.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I can see him maybe come first, maybe Peacemaker season 2, and then pop up in Waller. Like I think that's how like it maybe line up.
Thank you, Cyber. That's the first time. That's the second time that Cyber has reminded me that Rings of Powers is 8 episodes. Or no, it was House of Dragon last time that I thought was longer than what it actually is. House of Dragon is only 8 episodes. I thought it was like 10 or 11.
No. Yeah, I think the 8 episodes is a good amount for me.
Oh, yeah, me too. 10 and 11 is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you have to like you need to like do a 2-parter or something like that to get those like. I don't know. It's a lot to do. So thank you, Cyber, for that. Because I thought it was 8 because Episode Prime always does like.
But Andor was 11 episodes or 12 episodes. I like that. It didn't bother me.
Well, yeah, because Disney did they do like the split part like of the episodes?
No, remember they designed the episodes in a way that the show was structured and written to where it was all built in 3-episode arcs. That's why they released the first 3 episodes in one shot, because the show all worked in 3-episode arcs, right? 4 3-episode arcs.
Okay.
So it just worked.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's good because I prefer that kind of storytelling in episodes.
Yeah, remember you had the opening 3 episodes, whatnot. Then you had the heist. That was 3 episodes. Then you had the prison, right?
Right.
And then you had the episodes after the prison.
Yeah. So like, if everyone doesn't know, like it was kind of like how the old Doctor Who show did it. Like when they were making the episodes, they were always like, okay, 4 episodes of this, and next episodes were like Cyberman, and then the next episode was like another adventure. Like it was like that. That I prefer than just having like a 1 season where it was like one storyline.
It's really unique. You don't see a lot of people writing like that on TV series.
No, that's often. Yeah. I wish I hope we get back to that because I prefer that than just one storyline. But it'll stay there. Anyway, so that's where we're planning. Wednesday we have a movie review. What is it? The Matrix 2, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Matrix Reloaded. So that's going to be fun.
It's just the three of us, and then we have a new person on that's pretty green. So it's going to be his first show with us. I have a lot of people, not a lot of people wanting to come on for the Matrix and all that and whatnot. So it's going to be we're going to have some small teams on the Matrix movies. I think. I'm pumped. Yeah. I can't wait to watch Matrix Reloaded. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah, me too. I kind of had a feeling with that because the sequels are so. I mean, I like Reloaded. It's a good. Look, it's tough to beat the first one, and unfortunately, I don't think the sequels really top the first one. And I like the second one.
Reloaded is pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, it has great action scenes. I love the chase scene, on the road.
Yep,
that one's fantastic. Yeah, and I mean,
the third one will be good to just make jokes on. I'll just be making jokes, making fun of the shit and whatnot, everything. Right? There'll be a lot of good shit in there for me to make jokes on.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's been a while. I think the third one is like my least of the watch of those trilogies.
And then the fourth one is like a mystery. I have no fucking idea what happens in the fourth one. Nobody's told me about it. I haven't seen it. I have no idea. It's like an alien thing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen the fourth one either, but yeah, it's crazy. Anyway,
I'm excited though. I'm still excited because even if it's a shit show, I'll make fun of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hey, I mean, that's the point of our show, is just making fun of these crazy things that they put in these movies. Jeff, okay, look at this, I love this. Jeff making jokes, LOL.
What a shot.
Oh, yeah, what a shot. Oh, Saber, you're killing me here today. Anyway, then Friday we got the Full Out Season 1 finale drinks game, which is awesome. So that's going to be fun for next Friday. So that's going to be awesome. Check us on that. That's how our schedule is going to be next week. And it's going to be the last week of May. So that's going to be crazy. So
that's right.
Anyway. Yeah. So let's get into the first sequence of X-Men Days of Future Past. And then after we get done with that, we're going to do the trailer. And so
if you want to do Beetlejuice, you should do it now before we do the X-Men Future Past.
Okay. All right.
Doesn't that make sense? Why would you break up X-Men Future Past for Beetlejuice?
Thank you, sir. This is why I have Jeff here. Just telling me how to
okay.
to run the show. Well, in a proper way, actually. That makes sense. Actually, let's do that now. Just give me a minute here.
It's just common sense, sir. Just common sense.
No. That makes sense. Hey, look. I mean, this is loose live stream view, so that's all we can do. Just give me a minute. Let me just pull it out right now. Just typing something. But anyway, so that's our plan for this week for the MCU Bleeding Edge report. Team. It's going to be fun. I'm very excited for next week, which is awesome.
Well, I also plan on trying to get laid too this week. It's with some woman at somewhere, probably my house, in my bed, with some chick. It could be there could be many. It could be any certain one. I don't know. There's not one I have locked in, but God willing, it'll go down.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey.
I can hold the fort, sir. Don't worry. I'll take care of it.
All right. Let me do the cancellation here for the audio. Okay, good. And then let me add the stage.
Here's the preview. Be warned.
Okay, so this week we recently have the new trailer for Beetlejuice, which is awesome. So we're going to discuss this afterwards, after you see this first trailer. So Jeff, hold the fort. I'll be right back. But guys, enjoy this trailer. It's really great. So, and sorry about that. Here we go. And right there.
Here's a preview. Be warned. It's intense.
Can't believe Grandpa's dead.
Death is hard.
Yeah, sometimes I think life is harder.
When I was a teenager, a trickster demon terrorized our entire family and tried to force me to marry him. I believed he was gone forever until you found this in the attic.
Ew. Who's Beetlejuice?
Don't ever say that name.
Beetlejuice.
No, Astrid! I am serious! If you say his name 3 times, he will appear.
Beetlejuice.
The juice is loose. I'm gonna make you so happy.
The living. The dead. Can they coexist? That's what we're here to find out.
Where's Beetlejuice?
Where's Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice!
Feel free to express yourselves. Don't be afraid.
You're a figment of my imagination.
Really? Is this a figment of your imagination?
Oh man. Okay. Just give me a minute, folks, to do the installation. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so we get to
Yes, and I'll tell you what. Always make sure you wear your good microphone. You wear your good headphones, because I listened to one of our shows on a podcast episode when you weren't wearing your good headphones, your audio was terrible.
yeah, I know.
I could not hear you. If I was the podcast audience person or whatnot, and everything, I'd be like, "What is that guy saying?"
Well, folks, you're lucky that I have better headphones that I bought for my job, and I'm using a laptop because I had to fix some situations. So anyway, so that's
Sir, you're a member of a team. There will always be assistants in the audio, video, AVA department, or whatever, whatnot, from the team, whatever, whatnot, to make sure that things are rectified on the Andre's Pop Culture Guy end, just to be clear.
Yeah. So, if everyone knows, I'm not at my usual, desktop. I'm not at my big laptop, Mac. I'm using my laptop. And the first night that I did it,
how would we know? You never told us. I don't know. How would I have known?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it wasn't a big deal because my grandma's sometimes nosy when I talk very loud. So I had to make the decision to use my laptop, use my mom's laptop, and go to my room. And so far, it's been good. And I'm using these headphones that I got from my job. So yeah, it's been working better, which is good. And thank you for pointing it out, because I know these are better because I have the thing here that you usually use for the headphones.
Well, we want people to hear you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, occasionally you do say something like decent or like contributive or whatever here or there.
I know. It's always good that you point out that, because I just want to make sure everyone can hear it. But yeah, so Saber, Beetlejuice. I mean, look, this is my show. I will do whatever I want. I'm a big Tim Byrne fan, so Beetlejuice.
I don't like how I look at my green screen. Like, I don't like this webcam or whatnot. This layout with the green screen. I don't like how I look. I look all evil looking and shit and whatnot. And when I drink, like when we do drinking games, I look all crazy and shit. You see me, I get all crazy looking with my eyes and shit and whatnot, because I'm all close to the cameras and shit. I got that crazy eye look and shit and whatnot. Simon knows what I'm talking about.
Hey, look, I think
it's kind of scary, bro. I've seen myself.
Take over the show. What's up, Saber? Oh, that's great.
Cyber, could you imagine if I went over and just took over people's shows and that was the show? Like, what if True Knowledge took over your show and like hosted your show for a night or whatever. Well, how would it go? And then like they just let me in there and like host their shit or whatever. And that would be the show. Dude, it would be fucking crazy. I'm telling you. Andre's Pop Culture Guy, you have got to watch the episode I did with Jermaine on Trekker's Delight, the Star Trek show he does, where I guessed it. It was like some all-star shit, bro. It was some True Knowledge all-star guest material.
Oh my god. Oh god, I think it will be beautiful because it shows you how wonderful Jeff is as a person, and that we need him more in our lives.
I think what it is that you guys are used to being in front of the camera all the time, right in front of it. I'm not, right?
Oh, really? Okay.
Think about it, right? In my room, all my webcams are at a distance. You know? So, like, they're not close to me. So you're always seeing me in, like, a bigger shot.
Yeah.
When I'm up close and I'm up tight to the actual laptop screen like you know, with the one webcam on top, I'm just not used to this angle.
Yeah, no. I understand. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I do prefer when you're in the other room when we see all your posters. It looks good on you. But I like this way. I like the Bed Bay wallpaper. Well, I think that's
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. I put a lot of work into that, into my background and my room and all that and whatnot. I like to record in there too. The different camera angles is nice. I like to be able to change them up. But at the same time, though, it is nice out here to be able to go out here in the garage. The AC that I got in here is too small. I've got to get a bigger one. But I do have AC out here, thank God, because it is hot down here in Southwest Florida.
Oh God, down here is hot here. Like we're up to like 87 like outdoors. I mean, it wasn't bad today, but like, yeah, it's getting hotter here, in New Jersey.
Sir, I laugh at 87. I live near the equator.
Look, hey, I mean, you're in Florida. Yeah, Florida. So I don't have
just like you would laugh if I came up there during the winter and everything and whatnot. You saw me like freaking out and like shivering and shaking like a baby and all that and whatnot. But sir, I just want to let you know, while I was holding the fort down, I dropped like 2 N bombs, 3 C bombs, like an R bomb, I was just trying to see what would happen if I did, on your channel, if I said some of those things, right, Cyber? I want to experiment. So, and the Beetlejuice trailer, I don't know, man. I don't know, brother.
Well, I mean, we discussed this before. I know, Tim Burton is a taste, and I don't know. You've seen the original. I've seen the original like so many times, and I like Beetlejuice. So
based off that one watch, I would not tell people to invest their money in the movie theaters to go watch that.
Really? Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's my new thing now. For now on, when I watch a trailer, I'm just going to drop it right there after the trailer. I'm going to say either you should go watch the movie and pay for go see it, or you shouldn't. That's my new shit. I decided that's how. But that whatever we do trailers from now on. That's what I'm going to do.
All right. Yeah.
Is that you like that?
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's your rule. I mean, I do it too. I mean, if I see
I'm going to say every time. I'm going to say people, you should either go pay for this shit or not. Based off that trailer, my one watch of it, I would not pay to go see that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I had that same mantra when I see trailers like that. Yeah.
It doesn't seem entertaining enough to see in the theater.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can see why. I'm very excited. I think this is maybe a good return for him to Tim Burton. I just feel like, he just isn't right for big blockbuster movies, and I feel like doing a Beetlejuice film makes a lot of sense. But
if I could bang Winona Ryder, then I would pay to go watch it.
Oh dear. Oh my god. Yeah.
Just out of nostalgia, because it's Winona Ryder. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, she looks great. I'm just saying, like, Cyber will tell you, like, she's like a 10 compared to like some chick Cyber see me get down with. So I'm just saying, like, but no, out of nostalgia though, for all her like classic roles in the 80s and shit, like Heathers and all that shit and whatnot, like, like that, it'd be some nostalgia smashing with Winona.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It,
I agree.
it'd be just like if you had a chance to to smash what's her name from Pretty in Pink,
Molly Ringer? Question mark?
Molly Ringer. Are you talking about Molly Ringwald? That's not Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Well, hold on.
Is that Molly Ringwald? Who is that?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me here. 16
The one from
Candles.
16 Candles. She was in all those 80s movies. Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Hold on. That's her name.
Is her name Molly Ringwald?
Yeah. Here. Let me. I'm pulling it just right now. Just give me a minute.
You're right. It is. Her name is Molly Ringwald. I haven't seen her recently, but I saw her in a movie a couple of years back. They in a cameo, and she looked hot. She has big tits. Her tits got really big.
Yeah, no. I seen her like a long time ago. Yeah, she looks very good. The other Breakfast Club actress, that was like the quiet one. Like she was in X-Men Apocalypse. I don't know if you missed that, but like
she was the freak one. She played like the freak kid, the punker kid or whatever.
Yeah. And she's in X-Men Apocalypse, which is funny.
I was always really into those kind of girls when I was younger. In high school and shit, whatnot, the goth kind of girls or whatever, whatnot. I like those girls, yeah. Something about the way they looked or whatever.
Hey, they look great in makeup, so yeah, no.
And that was when I had a penis. Before it got all small. So I was normal. I was normal then. I wasn't. It wasn't like before She-Hulk.
No. Before Captain Marvel or She-Hulk, that you love so much secretly. Anyway, okay.
Listen,
so let's get.
I would beat up on Captain Marvel if Captain Bree would come hang out with me one night and everything and whatnot and chill with me privately. I would love it, and if she would wear her uniform for me, that would be spot on. I love Captain Marvel's uniform. The color scheme of it and whatnot, everything is dope.
Yeah, I like her new one in the Marvels, like the first one with the sleeves. The sleeves that one works so much better than what she got with the third act in the Marvels.
I never really knew much about her when I saw her in Infinity War and whatnot. In that post credit, I just loved the beacon because I loved the color scheme of her whole uniform, her whole her coasting,
symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a really good symbol they created. It's very iconic, I would say. I mean, not too iconic, I would say. But yeah. Anyway, so let's get into the opening of X-Men Days of Future Past. So we get the classic, Patrick Stewart monologue, of him explaining what's going on, the devastation of the Sentinels here, and then we get back to the awesome John Ottman music here and seeing the cerebral doors closing, which is awesome. And then we're in Moscow, Russia, and then we see the Sentinels come in. And then way back, we see a couple of mutants here. We got Blink, was it Thunder?
Don't expect me to be able to know the names of who those X-Men are.
Yeah, Warpath, Bishop, Iceman, Kitty Pryde, Colossus, and Sunspot, who's in X-Men 97 currently. So those are mutants there. They're doing something in this bunker, and then the Sentinels come in. They look very slick, and then while they're attacking, Bishop and Kitty go into this vault here, and all of a sudden, the first time I see this movie, it was so cool to see the Sentinels change into mutants. They adapt to the mutant powers, which was awesome, and so it was really cool to see that. So you see one of the Sentinels turn into Colossus power.
I didn't like it because it was too overpowering. It made them seem too overpowering. Like you couldn't even fight. There was no way to fight them.
Oh really? Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't like that.
Oh wow. Okay.
It made the fighting with them not even point. What's the point?
Oh really? Oh okay. Because I mean, every time we see a Sentinels, they always feel indestructible, and I just felt like it felt right. And I mean, I don't know, like I felt like it was kind
The
of great.
futuristic ones like that, where they can adapt and all that, yes, but not like Sentinels from like X-Men animated and stuff like that, or whatever, whatnot, or '97, right?
Yeah,
I
I
it's only the futuristic ones that can do all that crazy shit.
yeah. I like it. It was a very genius idea. Obviously, when we get into
I mean, this was a one-off. These were the Sentinels that were built off of Mystique's genes, right?
Yeah.
Like they never did that. There never was a comic book storyline based off that. They just did that for the movie.
Yeah, which I thought it was really cool that they did that, like
Me too.
adapting into the mutants' abilities to fight against them. That was really cool idea. But no, I can see what you're saying, that like it was kind of takes some of like the stakes and the fight of the Sentinels. Dude, you cannot like beat them. I can understand that part.
Yeah, if you don't even have a chance with them, then what the fuck is it? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean,
I'm not saying it made or break the film. I'm just letting you know that was my response to it when I saw it. I was like, okay, well, what now? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand. There are a couple of things that, this movie is kind of like, okay, it's convenient,
but they're portraying a point that like that's how effective they are, that's how deadly they are. You know what I'm saying, and whatnot, and everything, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, and they do it so so well. I mean, especially when they kill like Iceman, and like when the Sentinel burns it so through it, and like he breaks the net and it steps on him, in this ice form. Like that's very brutal, and I really
but he comes back to life 5 minutes later anyway.
Yes, that's true. Well, I'm just making the point that
which I still don't understand. I still don't understand how the fuck that happened. You're gonna instead of like worrying about all this other shit, why don't you explain to me how the fuck that happened? The fuck was that shit?
Yeah, okay. I'll explain that maybe. All right. Anyway, so after that, Professor X, Magneto, Wolverine, Storm meets these guys, these group of mutants, and they discuss, the orderly history of like how the Sentinels became. And apparently, during 1973, during the peace treaty in Paris, Mystique assassinate the Sentinel career that, as always, Dr. Trask, Barville Trask, that we see in X-Men 97. If you haven't seen the show as we did, he's in the first episode, and he's the creator of the Sentinels. And like after she assassinate him, that's when the government start to build. They funded the program, and after years of torture and body fluids and all that, Mystique, they were able in 50 years time develop the future Sentinels that we saw in the beginning. So and they see that using Kitty to transfer, hopefully Xavier to go back to 1973 to stop this whole like.
But wait a minute, what? That's not even what I asked you about. What about the shit where all the S-Men people died? Then they all of a sudden Kitty and Bishop did some shit and everything and whatnot or whatever, and like went back in time or something or some shit or whatever whatnot. So everyone was alive. What the fuck was that?
Okay. So I was kind of cover. So now I explained that part. So what they're doing, she sent Bishop a few days before that thing happened, the attack that we saw, and before that happens, and so he told his younger self to tell those guys to know how to prep themselves this time better so that they don't get killed. That's how they kind of did it. It's kind
okay.
That's what they did, and so that's why they are going to do is set Wolverine there to stop that Mystique assassination. That's like before
because it alters the future. That's why they're able to come back to life even though they were killed.
Exactly, that's what happened. So that's why Bishop did it, because he went back a few days earlier, warned them about the incoming threat of what happened we saw in the beginning, and then it altered the time. So that's what happened, and the disappearance.
Was Kitty Pryde in the comics always so powerful that she had the capability of like sending somebody back in time and shit like that and whatnot?
No. So here's a trivia. So In the original comic book, it was Rachel Summers that was the one that sent.
How is this a trivia? I already said I don't know. I don't fucking know. So what? Like, how am I going to be able? How am I going to enter the trivia?
Wait. Hold on. This is for the audience, not for you, Jeff. Okay, all right. It's for the audience. Okay. So anyway, right. So let me explain this. So in the original comic book and this other, stories of Days of Future Past, it's always Rachel Summers and some technology they had to transport someone from their time into a conscious body. And it's different from some of the other Days of Future Past adaptation, like the 90s cartoon is different, where when Bishop traveled, it was the wristband that we saw in 97. That's how he traveled. But in the comic books, it was always the self-conscious, mind going to the underbody. So that's how they do it in the comic books, and this is what they're doing here. And it usually was Rachel Summers, the other daughter, first daughter, or so many Summers. One of the Summers, daughter, and children.
Yeah. Scott and Jean's daughter. Scott, not Madeline and Scott's, but Jean and Scott's actual daughter. And the one that ends up with the Ascani, like starting the Ascani tribe or whatnot in the future. How she ends up there, I can't remember, but like that she ends up there.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember. I never understood her whole story, how she ended up in the future, or any of that. Well, no, she didn't end up in the future. She got old because she was born when Scott and Jean were older, and so she was just old in the future.
Yeah, exactly. If I remember correctly, that's how it happens. And because and the reason they use Kitty here, because in the original comic book, Kitty was the one that was sent back to warn the X-Men about the assassination of Senator Kelly. That was how it happens. But instead, because Hugh Jackman, Wolverine is the popular character, they instead switch it where Wolverine is the one that is sent back time, but Kitty takes over the role of Rachel Summers. That's why. Now they don't explain how she got this power. The easy way they could have done this is the second mutation. As if everyone knows, mutants can have secondary mutation, like Emma Frost. People forget that she never had the diamond skin. That was later in the Grant Morrison's run of X-Men. She was always a telepath, but she generated a secondary mutation of getting that diamond skin that we know from the comics, and obviously we saw in X-Men First Class. So the fact that they didn't explain that, it's one of those kind of like flawed things about this movie, is that they don't explain how Kitty gets these like time travel abilities to send Wolverine into his younger self in 1973. But hey, it's time
there wasn't as much pressure at that point for for those kind of films for comic book accuracy, for one thing. That wasn't there as much, right? You didn't have as much people on YouTube, calling for it, whatnot, and all that. Less of a social media presence. There's a different time period, right?
Yeah.
So that, and one thing I think is really cool is that they managed to put together the different X-Men people from the First Class and the original movies, right? That was cool. Like the fact that they managed to put that together like that and make that work symbiotically, and have it work to where it was a quality film and everything and whatnot. It worked out really well, and it really did a lot to service some of those original X-Men characters like Storm, where some of those first X-Men films are just not that good.
Yeah. X2 is the best of the bunch for me. The movie is okay. It's a good start for the franchise, and then X2 is really great, and X-Men Last Stand is really bad, and then Origins is really really bad, but it's not as bad as Last Stand. But then First Class is really great. That's what X-Men films should be, and then I think Days of Future Past does a better job of being more.
I'll tell you right now, the way that you feel when you see, just because she is Storm, she, what's her name? The actress
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. I'm
Berry?
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
My memory's been bad this week. Halle Berry, she is Storm. Everyone knows her as Storm. So like when you see her in this film in such a like mature way, they used her like a very like adult, like powerful way, right?
Yeah.
Like like with her role, and to embody the maturity of like her being through the war and all that and whatnot. So like seeing her like that was really powerful and really it looked really cool and looked like really dope and nostalgic. Just imagine what it's going to be like when they bring all those characters back for fucking Secret
MCU?
Wars.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, that's gonna be great. Yeah, and you don't know if they're in Deadpool Wolverine. You don't if the X-Men will have a cameo, but it could happen. So, but hey. But yeah, Secret Wars. Yeah, I could definitely see them coming in.
I don't think you'll see any S-Men cameos in
really?
Deadpool.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know. I don't think. Well, you never know. We could see them, but I think what we've seen is what we're going to see.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see just really like random mutants, like as we've seen with the last trailer with the villains that we've seen from previous films.
The Deadpool Corps and all that, whatnot, and like X-23 and stuff like that, whatnot, that comes out of Logan and all that and everything. That's not X-Men.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll see. We got 2 months, which is crazy. So 2 months. So that's gonna be great.
I didn't mean to derail you. You were at the point where you were at the point where you were talking about where they're all coming together, like after they jump from like the Sentinel thing.
Yeah. So after I explained how the history of the Sentinel program being created, Wolverine steps in. I say Kitty cannot send Xavier's mind because it can like rip apart his mind or something like that to his young body. So Wolverine volunteers to go back in time to warn the young X-Men about this future
because he's got the healing factor. Yes.
Yeah, that's what they say. Okay, reasonable explanation. That's good. And one of the things I like about this movie when we get into the past, it's a very Professor X centric film. One of the reasons that X-Men First Class was great was because it was such a Magneto film, and Days of Future Past gives Xavier, Professor X, the shine, the limelight to really be a great character. He should be, because he is the most powerful character, and I really liked how this movie really goes in depth about Xavier and his dream of mutant and human equality, where in First Class you see how Magneto becomes Magneto, why he hates the humans and why he thinks the mutants should be the dominant species in Earth, and so that's one of the things I like about this movie so much. And so so after Wolverine wakes up in Terminator fashion of being nude, he is in 1973. He gets shot. We get the bone claws. So if anyone was kind of confused, so in order to Wolverine, he had the bone claws before he got the Abinaton medal from Weapon X, which hasn't happened yet.
Everybody has a hard time pronouncing that word, admentadium or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatnot. It's hard to pronounce.
Yeah,
nobody gets it right.
Yeah, it wasn't hard for me. For some reason now I don't know. I guess I just realized recently that all it really is admentadium. I always thought it was admentadium or something like that. Yeah,
but it's
adamantium.
not.
Yeah, no,
it's not. It's admentadium. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
I almost say vibranium for some reason, and
I don't know why I thought it was so complicated my whole life, but I just found out the other day. Literally, I looked it up. That all it literally is when you pronounce it is admentadium.
Adamantium. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, so he doesn't have it in the past, so he has the bone claws, which is
Yep.
cool.
He hasn't gotten to like the late 1970s and the 80s and all that and whatnot. Gotten into Weapons X program yet.
Yeah, exactly. So so he is pretty much metal free, and after that we get the introduction of Trax trying to get the Sentinel program off the ground, but unfortunately the community rejects him because of the mutants are not as dangerous right now, and plus I want to give a great shout out here in the Trask court scene here. First off, he has the thesis that Xavier.
They weren't in court. They weren't in court. He was in front of like a senatorial panel or committee or something like that.
Yeah, community. Yeah, thank you. Sentinel panel, something like that, as Jeff was saying. By the way, 2 cameos here, which I really like. Chris Claremont is there, the OG GOAT of X-Men writer, and Lee Wayne, the creator of Wolverine, was there. 2 great comic book creators in that scene, so it was really great to see them in this movie. And obviously Chris Claremont created Days of Future Past, so that was really awesome. So we get introduced to Trax there, and then after that, Wolverine stops in the X Mansion. He meets the Yonder Beats by Nicholas Holt, and I love the line he say. Oh my God, you're a late bloomer. He's a late bloomer, Beast. And after he like just forcefully gets into the X Mansion. He gets attacked by Beast, and then after that, we see Xavier walking. It's like, wait a minute, First Class, he got shot by McNeil. He gets paralyzed, but we got the explanation later after Wolverine convincing McAvoy's Professor X that he's from the future, and then he explains the danger of what happened with the Sentinels and all that. But after the encounter with Xavier not feeling the mood right now, Beast explains that the serum that made him the blue mutation that we usually see Beast, like X-Men 97, the blue fur, he created to fix somewhat the spine of Xavier, but it gets rid of his powers. So let me stop at that. What do you think about this first section, Jeff? It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's well paced. That's the thing. Like, so much information, but still like well paced. Gets the point about what's this movie about. What do you think about it?
Maybe that serum could rejuvenate my penis. My extremely tiny penis, maybe it can rejuvenate it, like straighten it out or whatever.
No, your penis is
extend it.
Your penis is fine. You just need to say "con Sam" and it's gonna be perfect.
Okay, it's a good opening, sir. They kind of center this part of the film around Hugh Jackman, really. He's really the antagonist, kind of like, of everything. And everyone is reacting off him. And his whole, like, introduction scene, naked, like, with some chick he's supposed to be protecting, like, paid to get protected, but he's banging her, right?
Yes.
Is, like, so Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like, And just his whole dialogue with, like, the dudes, he's like, look, I know how this plays out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like something I would say to somebody, except I'm not Wolverine. Like, I would never say that.
No.
Like, he's like, look, I know how this plays out. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me your keys and some money for gas, right? Like, he doesn't even look at him. You know what I'm saying? He's like, or whatever. And like, it's just so Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like, just to, again, why, like, Deadpool 3 will be so effective, just because Hugh Jackman's played Wolverine for so long that he is Wolverine now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to people, you know what I'm saying? He's like the Chris Evans, Captain America version of the X-Men, right? Yeah. He's just, in the psyche of like your people out there, the general public, like they know him as he's Wolverine. So he's really good in this. He's really matured, Hugh Jackman has as a man, as an actor, right? Like in his character, right? They're really letting him loose in this movie for the first time as Wolverine. This is his first chance to actually be like adult Wolverine, like, that swears and a little bit, whatnot, everything, right? And like, is hardcore and drinks, and like, smokes and shit and all that, whatnot, right? like Wolverine, like
Yeah.
you know, not the light version of Wolverine that they showed in the first 3 X-Men films. So this is him like set free.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, he felt like Wolverine in the first 2 like movies. Like he did smoke there and drink.
This movie is much more mature than the X-Men films were.
Yeah, okay, that's very true. Yeah, I mean, this movie does, delve into more heavy themes.
The writing is better, the acting's better. It's much more mature. You know, I'm serious. Like, the combination of Jackman as Wolverine with all the different X-Men characters, and then McAvoy playing the younger Xavier with what's his name playing the young Magneto.
Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender. Yeah. I mean, just you couldn't pick better actors to portray the 2 characters, right? Literally, like, I'm sorry, but seeing them like at that age, right? It's so much different than seeing them as like older Professor X and older Magneto. You know what I mean? It's a great concept, but it's just a very adult film compared to those other X-Men films. It really is.
Okay.
This was the most R-rated level, more adultish X-Men production we got at this point.
Yeah. Okay. No. I agree.
After First Class.
Yeah. No. I understand. That's why I like about First Class. Like, I like that it's a little more mature. It's like that's why I always prefer the X-Men over the MCU, because I always feel like the MCU can go a bit darker, And I feel like these movies do a really good job of doing that. No, I understand. I agree with you completely. Because I prefer these over the original trilogy.
Yeah. So like, did they really set Jackman loose in this one before Logan? Like this was his chance to kind of like be Wolverine. Like I think this movie probably did a lot for him in terms of setting him up for like Logan and whatnot, everything, right? And the character Wolverine. But that's all I'll say about the intro. Just that it's really well done, and the seeing. I love Nicholas Hoult as Beast. He's really good. I like Nicholas Hoult in general. Right? He's not my favorite Beast. I don't really love him as Beast. I like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. I agree with you. I prefer the Kelsey Grammer Beast in X-Men 3. That was like the only good thing about that movie for me, because the Beast was there. But yeah, because for me, Nicholas Hoult just feels more like the Hulk. You know what I mean? Like he feels like more Hulk than the Hulk in the MCU, and that's kind of weird. And I don't like that this version of Beast is not always on the makeup, like Grammer was in X-Men 3.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I would rather I'd rather have Hulk with the fur. That's what when I think of Beast. When I think of Beast, I think of Beast with the blue fur. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Hank McCoy to me. That's Beast to me from the comics. Basically, that's why. But X-Men: Days of Future Past is a movie that really stands out because out of all the Fox X-Men films that they made, right, it was the most like of such a high quality, both on a dramatic level and on like a superhero action level, right? Like to where it was just a really high quality, well done movie, right? Like just top notch. So at that point, it creates an interesting conversation in your head. It makes you almost want to think about like concepts for shows you could have and things like that. Just about like, comparing almost like, those first 3 Fox films to like what came after. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think about this universe that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get over here that often.
No. I mean, it's very different from the MCU, because with the MCU is more interconnected. When they were starting, and obviously they were building up, the Thanos thing, and
I never got to cover movies like this. I never got to, what I'm saying? There was nothing for me to review or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like, so I'm contemplating things with this now, like, that on a content creator level, on a review level, like, somebody that does this,
Yeah.
that I just really haven't until now.
Yeah, no, that is really true. No, I understand. Because it's before and after your accident, and and plus, the X-Men, it was never.
I view films and TV and episodes of TV now so differently now that I've been reviewing them for years, right? Like, like not the movies but the TV series especially. I've told you about that before, and I'm sure you started to eventually see it, haven't you? How it starts to kind of like change the way that you view TV.
Yeah.
And consume it, not everything. When you're reviewing it all the time, doesn't it change how you view it a little bit, and like the way that you take it in?
Yeah. Sometimes it depends. But it does affect me. Like
Because you're always thinking about the content. You're always thinking about like the shows. You know what I'm saying? Without like you correlate the two. You know what I mean? Like what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's different for me because I kind of stopped doing that over my other channel, and I've been doing mostly with you guys now, and the movie views are so much easier because like
but now you reviewed like what fucking like you reviewed more episodical TV series like in the last year plus than you ever have in your entire content creation career.
Yeah, but I was viewing the MCU Disney Plus show, so I was already kind of familiar with that. So like I'm being more like I like it hasn't changed for me because I already gone through that process already. Starting with WandaVision, and then joining you guys, I'm experiencing other different kind of shows besides superhero stuff. But yeah, it's a good conversation to talk about. But yeah. Anyway,
I grabbed a trailer for you. I have to grab my battery charge. I have to grab my charger for my laptop. I brought it out without the charger, and the battery just dunged, saying that it's going to go out. So if you want to play the trailer, I'm going to dip and go grab my battery charger.
Okay, let's do that, and we'll come back and do more of the scenes. Okay. All right.
Don't worry, folks. I won't leave you with this asshole.
Fuck you.
I'm just kidding, sir.
Oh no. Anyway, as Jeff is gonna get, as he's just explained to recharge his laptop, he has gracefully done the conversion on the other X-Men trailers to show you. This is I think this is the teaser trailer from 10 years ago. By the way, the reason we're reviewing this movie is because it's the 10th anniversary. I love this movie, so let's honor this film in such a great way for Memorial Day weekend, folks. I hope you guys are having a great Memorial Day weekend. So here's the trailer. Here we go.
What's the last thing you remember? I had a glimpse into the past. You're going to have to do for me what I once did for you. You'll need me as well. Side by side to end this war before it ever begins.
So, I wake up in my younger body, and then what?
Find me. Convince me of all of this. It's going to take the two of us.
And where do I find you?
A different path. A darker path. Logan, I was a very different man. Lead me. Guide me. Be patient with me.
Patience isn't my strongest suit.
I don't want your suffering. I don't want your future!
Please. We need you to hope again.
Oh, great scene. Yes. Oh. Perfect teaser trailer. Amazing. Oh god. It beats Winter Soldier. Anyway, no offense, MCU. But yes. Oh my god. Great teaser trailer from 10 years ago oh,
Back on. Turn on back on cancellation.
fuck. I can't believe it. I'm sorry, folks. My bad. Anyway, what I was saying. Great teaser 10 years ago, yada yada. Amazing. When it was first announced they were going to do Days of Future Past, I thought they were, I can't believe they did it. In 10 years, this movie's still great. I mean, seeing these casts again. I mean, I didn't grow up with the original trilogy. Like X-Men: The Last Stand. This is funny. The Last Stand was my first X-Men film to see in theaters, and then I saw Origins. I was like, oh my god, I was down in hell until X-Men First Class, and I was like, yes, a great film for X-Men for me to see in theaters. And I saw the Wolverine, that was really good in theaters. And yeah, X-Men Days of Future Past. When that came out in 2014, it was a huge deal, and I was so happy. It was great, and this is actually the reason I started my YouTube channel. Now we get into the section of the Quicksilver scene. This is why I started my YouTube career, because of the time. I'll get into my story after I get into that like scene. So anyway, Jeff, welcome back. Any thoughts on the teaser trailer of X-Men Days of Future Past? Very different. Like it played more like serious kind of teaser trailer, which is kind of interesting.
No, I don't really have any thoughts.
Okay, okay. It's a good trailer. I really enjoy it. Anyway, so going back to the movie, so let's get into Mystique. So Mystique at this point is separated from Magneto. So Magneto is in a plastic prison at this moment, and she's as we've seen with the Sentinel like history segment from the beginning, she is finding out what's going on with the mutants getting experimented on and all that, and she discovered that Trax is doing that, and so she's like saving some mutants here, and so she meets up Havoc from First Class during this Vietnam segment, and there we see like a new version of Togue, two other random mutants we don't know, and we get the introduction of a younger William Stryker. We did see his father in First Class, so his father was in the First Class. If you haven't seen First Class, his father was there, and so we now are seeing the young Stryker here, which was great. So great continuity there. So yeah, and then Mystique stops this experiment thing on Vietnam segment, and she saves Havoc and the other mutants. So, and then after that, really talk about the Xavier, meaning Wolverine. Then we get into the Quicksilver scene. So, so I explained the whole part about Xavier meeting with Wolverine. Explained the whole thing. After they agreed on Wolverine to help him stop Mystique, they need to get Eric, but Eric is in the Pentagon where he's at right now, being in prison. And just like X2, he's in the plastic prison. Different. This is a concrete. Yes, thank you, sir. I know that. Anyway, so anyway, so so after they're trying to figure out a plan to get Eric out of the prison, but they don't have too many resources. But Wolverine has one mutant he has in mind, so we get the introduction of Quicksilver. So so we get Quicksilver, played by Evan Pierce, who's going to be pretty much the breakout character for this film. And so they meet him. He's very, very talkative mutant. He has the powers, so speed. And then after, he agrees to come, they go to Pentagon and they start this really cool heist, like a very heist kind of film segment where they are trying to get Magneto out. So we see first Quicksilver getting in, dressed up as the police guard, goes in, vibrates the glass, escapes him. We get Magneto here, which is great. And then at the same time, while we got Quicksilver gets Magneto in the elevator, we get the really cool tease of like he thinks we get the little foreshadow of them being Magneto is the father of Quicksilver, just like the comic books, which doesn't get paid off at all in X-Men Apocalypse, which we're not gonna get into. But it was a really good tease about the parenting of that. And then after that, he meets up with Xavier, and Xavier is not in the mood for Magneto's stuff. And then more guards come in, and Magneto was trying to distract. I don't know what he was trying to do. Like he just lifts the stuff up, and then we get the iconic time in a bottle scene here, which is fantastic. Seeing Quicksilver's perspective, trying to stop the bullets and all that, and stopping the guards. Very fantastic scene. Really love it. So this is where I want to briefly detour a little bit. This is a very I don't know if you guys will enjoy it, but this scene and the character Quicksilver means a lot to me. This is why I started my YouTube career. I just made a very short video of Quicksilver, just enjoy the character and put time in the bottle, and that video did so well. Reach over 1K reviews or 1 billion reviews, whatnot. It got me into the YouTube content, so I had to really thank this movie and that scene, particularly with Quicksilver and the song "Time in the Bottle," for projecting me into the YouTube content creation this last 10 years of my life. So I really appreciate this scene, and I always love the character Quicksilver, and I wish that he got better things to do in the films. And plus, WandaVision wasn't helpful. What they did to him there. Hopefully, we get another chance with the character, but we'll see down the line. Great scene. And then after the Quicksilver scene, we get the really cool emotional get together of Magneto and Professor X, and Magneto tells Xavier that you abandoned us all, and we get the confirmed deaths of Banshee, Emma, Azazel, and Angel from the First Class. They all dead and been experimented from Trax. And then after that, we get we connect this with Mystique. Mystique reduce one of these diplomats that's going to be in the Paris Peace Treaty in 1973 for the end of the Vietnam War, and she gets the invitation. It's disguised as him. And then after that, we got another scene of Magneto talking to Xavier about John F. Kennedy, because Magneto, the reason that he was in prison in the 70s, the reason he's in prison was because the government thinks that he killed John F. Kennedy. So he killed John F. Kennedy, not Oswald. But the most shocking thing ever, that guess what, folks? John F. Kennedy was a mutant. That's right, he was a mutant. So Magneto was trying to save John F. Kennedy because he was a mutant. But what happened? I don't know. So he got falsely accused. Shame on you, government officials. You blame an innocent mutant that was trying to save his kind. And Xavier hears this is like, wow, okay. And and they play chess as always. If you know them as characters, they love to play chess. And of course, Magneto is going to make his first move, which foreshadows what happens in the panel, whatever you want to call it, that Trax has with the diplomats in Vietnam. So
Magneto almost fucking tears the plane apart while they're flying.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's like he has a Chandra, and he's making the plane just rip apart. It was always funny to see that, and he makes all the stuff go on the ground, and then this was my favorite with Wolverine. He's you're gonna pick that shit up, right? He looks as sure. Oh my god, that is so funny. I just love Wolverine's reaction. Telling him to pick up that shit.
His whole disposition throughout the whole film is great.
Oh yeah, oh he's so funny. I mean, when he goes into the light detector, for the end of the film, and he's like, oh my god, I didn't, because he doesn't have the metal in his body, because the light detector, sometimes activates because of the metal stuff in his body. But yeah, it's so funny. Hugh Jackman is so funny here. His interaction with the young cast is great, as you say before, Jeff. I wish he had more with Magneto, with Fassbender, but the moment he has with him in that plane, it's so great. Like you could, like they have really good chemistry there, and I like how he say like he always chased him so many years, when he was the older Magneto. So yeah, so after Mystique introduced the guy, we get into the Peachtree scene in Paris. Trax is doing this presentation about the Sentinels to them, and he has this the mutant tracker that detects the mutants, and of course Mystique is there. The thing activates, and Mystique is pretty much her cover is blown. After she beats up the guards, she almost gonna kill Trask, but she's interrupted by Xavier, and then of course Magneto made his first move, and he's gonna grab the gun and gonna kill her, which is ridiculous, typical Magneto fashion. And then she jumps in the window, and Magneto, how you say, he controls the bullet and he bends the bullet, which was kind of cool because if you don't know, guys, there's always the conspiracy that the bullet curve, and that's why that killed JF Kennedy in real life, and it's kind of cool that they kind of did that, or that was in the marketing material for Days of Future Past, but whatever. So he covered the bullet and shoots Mystique's leg, and then Beast is Beast because Xavier he has Hulk abilities for some reason. If you punch him, he gets angry and he gets into the Beast, which is kind of ridiculous. Whatever. So Beast attacks Magneto, and while this happens, Wolverine, because he's now recognizing Stryker's there, he goes in and out on his body. So because he's recognizing the person that's going to give him the metal claws, and he unfortunately in the future cuts Kitty Pryde, and so now she's injured, and so there's going to be a time clock for her for the future people to get this thing done right. So yeah, so after that, Mystique, so Beast saves Mystique, attacks Magneto. Magneto, cage Beast with metal, and whole hell breaks loose. The mutants are revealed in public, so mass hysteria. So after that, we get into Nixon. We go back to Washington D.C. We're in the White House. Nixon sees this. He talks to his government officials, all the cronies in the White House, whatnot, about the countermeasures, about the mutants, how we're going to defend the humans. And of course, Trax is in that room, and there he has the chance to show the Sentinel thing and get the funding, right? And at the same time, Trax asks if we do capture, the mutants, he wants Mystique, obviously, for advancing the Sentinels, as we see. So, let me stop there. What do you thought about, the Quicksilver scene to pretty much the White House, of Nixon and Trax convincing the president to go with the Sentinels, sir? Great sequence. I love it.
Honestly, what is there to say about the Quicksilver scene? It's really cool. It's just a really, really cool scene. That's all there is to say, right? It's really cool, that, his impact on the film, in his role, not in his pretty small role, is great. I love that actor. And then of course, he stirred up all that shit with WandaVision, right? So that was great. But that's all I got. I'll save my bullets for later on. I gotta get a cold drink.
Okay. Well, let me get you on the sequence. After that, I guess. So after the White House day, we get back to the X-Mention. Xavier, kind of collapses. Yeah. Xavier collapses in the floor because he hasn't had his doses, and so he's getting his powers back. And Wolverine is trying to convince Xavier to use his powers to find Raven. And so for a while, after Hank gets the ejection of the cure whatnot for his spine, Xavier goes with Wolverine's a vice, and he doesn't do the injection, and so he gets the Xavier chair. And then after that, we get a really cool scene of Trax and why is trying to kill off the mutants, because he's using the mutants as a like a propaganda to unite the whole human civilization as one, so that they don't go extinct. So he's just basically using the mutants for try to like it's almost like the Watchmen thing, where like Ozzy thinks of tricking the governments of Russia and all that, of this like actual alien invasion in the Watchmen that will unite the whole nation as equal instead of being divided. That's what Trax is doing here, is that he's using mutants as a way to unite the human civilization as one, and mutants are like the easy target to do that. So that's his plan, as why he's doing it, and why he's doing these experiments. And after that, Xavier goes to the Zero. He tries, the first time ever after 10 years of, looking for students, aka mutants. And, it was rough. And then, really great speech where he say he knows how to operate the Zero, but it's all comes from his heart and his mind. But it's broken, and he feels like he's one of the students. And really great, powerful speech there. And then this is great. This is where Hugh Jackman really becomes his own, as you say, Jeff, that he's come a long way as Wolverine. Here, he's acting as a mature person, telling him that he was one of his students. He now knows who he is, and he knows how to control his powers, and that because thanks to what Xavier did for him in the original trilogy. So he doesn't know how to convey that. So we get this really great scene where, Professor X goes into his mind, McAvoy's Professor X, and sees the horror, but he goes past it and he sees his older self, which is the moment we all were waiting for. Professor X beats Professor X, and then we get this huge, great emotional sequence with Professor X. McAvoy kills it. This is one. I don't know. You have seen Split. I know people like his performance in the Split film, whatnot, but I think his performance as Professor X here is amazing. He should have gotten an Oscar for this film performance. I think, he really
McAvoy. You mean McAvoy?
Yeah, McAvoy. Yeah, sorry. He should have gotten a nomination for this movie, because I think he really is the star of the film, and you see how broken he is, and he does it so well. And I think the sequence where he meets his older self really gives him the confidence to hope again and continue his dream of human and mutants coexisting. Just like the X-Men '97 show is dealing with Professor X and the X-Men trying to coincide with the humans, right? So really great scene. And after that, we see briefly Magneto following the Sentinels, and he puts metal in them so he can control them. And then, Mystique is, trying to get into the plane, trying to assassinate Trax still, and Professor X tries to talk her out of it, and it doesn't really work yet. And then after that, Beast shows him the news about the presentation for the Sentinels for the public, right? And Xavier, hearing the speech that he got for Professor X, no one is lost and stumble, which we heard from Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. I don't know if you remember the speech that he did. That was the same speech that Xavier, the older Xavier there, did to Doctor Strange, which that was really cool when they did it over there. I was like, yes, it's such a great speech. And so he does the here that Mystique isn't lost, she can still be rescued, and so they go off and go to DC to stop her, right? And so that's where we're at. And then we get a great scene where Wolverine talks to Professor X, and he's getting used to now not being walking anymore, and he tells him, promise him to find him in the X-Men. Really great scene. He tells find Cyclops, Storm, Jean. So let me stop there, give it a break. What do you thought about that section, Jeff? Particularly with that scene of Professor X meeting the older version. Really great sequence. I mean, very emotional.
Yeah, it really was. It was well done. Stuff like that could very easily, not be well done, right? having having a person, meet a future self or something like that, whatever. You could easily fuck that up, right? And have it not work. So the way they did it worked out really well. And McAvoy played a really great young Professor Xavier, which is cool because we'll probably only ever get that one young version of Professor Xavier. The Professor Xavier that we'll get in the MCU when we finally get live action X-Men will be older Professor Xavier. You know what I'm saying? He won't be young Professor Xavier. That wouldn't make any sense, I don't think. But I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an expert. You know what I'm saying? I just know what I know. I'm just saying I don't think that makes sense. I think it'll be a bald Professor Xavier in a wheelchair. Professor Xavier, when they do the live action X-Men, they'll set it up to where it'll go right to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically basically what the first X-Men movie did, where we got introduced with Patrick Stewart and McKellen. Yeah. No, I understand. It's just sad because McAvoy looked great as a bold Xavier.
Especially, I'd have to imagine that for the hardcore X-Men comic book fans, seeing McAvoy play the younger Xavier must have really done a lot for them. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot, because it's really interesting thinking because you always see him as older Xavier. So to see him young, it's really interesting, right?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, he's. I like how inexperienced he is as Professor X. Because the thing about Professor X, sometimes he's so powerful. He knows he's the wise teacher. And
it's a really well done film. Honestly, it's a movie that should have that literally was that was worthy of probably Oscar contention or whatever. Whatnot. You know what I'm saying? As a drama. Sci-fi drama or whatever, whatnot. It was that good.
Yeah, it's really great. It was always annoying for me. The Oscars never nominate this or Winter Soldier or Black Panther. They did nominate. They're getting better at that, but but still, I feel there was other comic movies.
I think if the Oscars were allowed to go back in time, and make and redo certain stuff, they would go back and they would give Winter Soldier Oscars. Probably, I think they would.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Winter Soldier deserved to win Best Writing, Best Directing. You know what I'm saying? Chris Evans should have won. Should at least been nominated for Best Actor.
Yeah, I agree. His performance in Winter Soldier is great. I love Winter Soldier. It's a great film. Yeah, and was it Winter Soldier? Black Widow should be nominated as Scarlett Johansson. I thought that's.
I wouldn't go that far. No, that's too far. It's too far. It's too far to even say Chris Evans should have been nominated to be. You know what I'm saying? That's too far. So to say that Black Widow, no, that's too far.
All right.
The movie, it's still a superhero movie.
Yeah, that's true. They should be nominated the stunt team. I think that's the most the thing that I like about.
The choreography, the fight choreography, and the stunt people, all that, whatnot, and everything. In Captain America: Winter Soldier, that scene with Fury, that chase scene, on the streets is one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree. And same here with Days of Future Past. The Quicksilver scene, the Sentinel battle in the future is really great. And the White House attack is really great. The way the Magneto lifts the stadium is really great.
Oh yeah, God bless you. Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks very impressive. It looks very visually impressive.
Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry.
Just the scale of it. It's huge.
Yeah.
Anytime you give somebody something that big, something huge like that, right? In a movie of that scale, it's going to look fucking impressive.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's really great, and the way we see the portals from Blink is really great. Yeah, one of the best effects for this film. One of the best for X-Men powers display. So anyway. Get back to that. So after the plane, so let me look at my notes here. Blah, 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 there. Okay, so we up to the summary. So we're wrapping up right now. We're at the finale. So So let me do this. We're constantly going back and forth in the future now. We're now getting to more of like the future, and we're getting really great action scenes of the future here. So because now the Sentinels found the other X-Men in the future in their hideout in China. So a bunch of ships of Sentinels are coming in, and then while this happened, we're in the ceremony in the White House in 1973, where Beast, Wolverine, and Xavier there are stopping Mystique. While that, in between this, Magneto went back to the Pentagon, get his helmet. Really cool scene of him. He has the bowls that he used in X2 to deflect the guards there. So he has everything back. He has the helmet now. He now in this moment he lifts the stadium, which is a cool thing. I mean, you think in X-Men 3, The Last Stand, where he lifts the San Francisco bridge, they topped that by having him had the stadium to block all the police from the White House, and for him to kill or hurt the people of the government, right? Why not? And while he was lifting it up, he activates the Sentinels, and they start attacking everyone in that White House. And so, like, Xavier had the moment of controlling Mystique, but then he got distracted because of the Sentinels started to shoot. And a really great action sequence here. See the Sentinels. Wait, what's your opinion on the '70s Sentinels design? I like the purple. Just like the comics.
They were pretty cool looking. They were pretty cool.
Okay.
Pretty scary looking.
Yeah. I like it. I like how they have those things that look like the arc reactors from Iron Man. Like the wind, tunnels like for planes. Like that was cool design. If you put the purple, I'm fine for them to change some of the Sentinel design. So yeah, I like the '70s design. I know people are kind of mixed on the '70s design, but I think it's fine. I think it's not a big deal. So after that, after the stadium is dropped down to the White House, Wolverine and Beast are attacked by one of the Sentinels from Magneto. Beast is trying to distract them, so Wolverine stops Magneto. Here, spoils, you haven't seen episode 9 of X-Men 97, me and Jeff review. So, towards the end of that episode, Wolverine, from the comic book's Fatal Attraction, Magneto took out the metal from Wolverine's body, right? Here, this movie did the opposite of that, and instead of because Wolverine doesn't have his metal in '73, Magneto instead pulls out one of these metal things from from a brick or something like that. He extracts the metal.
It was rebar. It was rebar.
Rebar. Okay, rebar. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, rebar.
Yeah, so he used the rebar, Hellraiser / horror, putting it in his body and trying to control his body that way and lifting him and throwing him off the water. So now Wolverine's out the picture, and so now Kitty Pryde has to Wolverine has to stay alive until Xavier stops Mystique to prevent the assassin and change the timeline. So yeah, so after all that outside commotion happened, mutant tracker attacks Mystique in the what do you call it, the vault, whatever they're in, the bunker in the White House.
Vault. The fuck you talking about? The vault. This is a Fallout, sir.
You know what the one that they go under the White House and they're trying to
whatever the fuck it's called, the danger room or whatever. I don't fucking know.
Danger room? How?
I don't fucking know, man. Whatever it's called.
Anyway,
the
bunker. Yeah, the bunker. Anyway, I'm sorry, folks. Fuck this. Fuck that.
I don't fucking know what it's called.
I don't know what it's called either. So it's not your fault. It's my fault. I'm it's a bunker. Anyway, folks, I'm sorry. Chandram here. Bunker. Don't listen to me. It's a bunker. Anyway, so the bunker gets lifted by McNeil, and then McNeil does his awesome speech here on the government officials. He does the first X-Men movie or the WandaVision pull where he pulls the guns on them, and he does this awesome speech about that his kind uh, can do a lot of damage, and it's a really great speech from Fassbender. And you see the some mutants from the the Havoc sequence in Vietnam, and then while this happens, we see all the future mutants getting killed. Like Colossus gets killed. Like he's like. By the way, you're right, Jeff. This is such a dark, mature film. Like we see, Colossus' body being ripped apart, which is crazy. Um, and then you got like Warpath getting burned through fire at one point, and then Sunspot is trying to stop them, but one of the mutants turn into like Darwin's powers, and then one mutant turns into like Emma Front's diamond skin, and then there's one Sentinel, that does the final kill on Sunspot. It has the Lady Deathstrike claws. Really cool way to reference other previous mutants here. And then the last mutant standing is Blink, and Blink is opening all these portals to stop the Sentinels, but she gets killed like 4 stabs by Sentinels, which is crazy. And while the X-Men were trying to stop the Sentinels from the ships, Magneto, the older Magneto, gets stamped with one of the shrapnels from the X-Jet that got exploded to stop the Sentinels from their area. So after the speech is done, Mystique pretends to be Nixon. She has the plastic gun that strike your hands, and one of the Sentinels, because Beast ejects himself into going back to human, the Sentinel detracts Mystique and Magneto's DNA, and so goes attack. But then Magneto kind of like departs the Sentinel, and then he gets shot by Mystique, and Mystique knocks out Magneto, and she almost is gonna shoot Tracks, but then Xavier jumps in and tells her that she was right. He was controlling her, and now he's allowing her to make her choice. And then obviously, while this happens, we get interchuck of the Sentinels reaching into the room where Xavier is at, and Wolverine and Kitty Pryde. And then after that awesome scene, Mystique drops the gun, and she does not assassinate Trax, and the future has altered. So they exceeded. So that's happened. So after that, everything is sort of back to normal. So now Mystique allows Xavier to control Magneto to lift up the metal that's like holding him down. And then, they so she leaves. Magneto says goodbye to Xavier, and then that's the last time we're going to see these characters. And we go back to the Wolverine and the water, and we go back into the future now. That's changed, and we see him there. He wakes up. He sees now all the X-Men alive. So we get these really great cameos here of Rogue, Iceman. It was great to see Rogue. After this, I will briefly talk about the Rogue cut. There is a director's cut.
Rogue was there? I didn't see Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue is there in the ending, where she meets when Iceman pulls out from that final scene. He's holding Rogue there, because they were the couple in the original trilogy. And then after that, Wolverine meets Kitty Pryde again, Colossus. That was really great to reference their relationship from the comic books. So that was cool. He meets the older Beast. Cressy Grammer is back, so it was great to see him again, briefly. And then he sees Storm, and then of course he sees Jean Grey, played by the awesome and the beautiful Famke Janssen, and she's still great, really great in the redhead hair. And then after that, Scott Cyclops is alive, and he says like, "Whoa, hold up, boy, hold up there, buddy." And Cyclops is there. He has these cool shades, and then and then and so like he just walks off, and it's like okay, so it's very funny there. So then Wolverine meets the older Xavier, and he realized that's the Wolverine from the past 73 that helped him, and so like telling him to catch him up, and then we get the final shot where Wolverine is getting brought up by the police, whatnot. We got Stryker. You think that it's gonna, the cycles it's going back again. That's a typical time travel thing. But in a shock reveal, it was Mystique opening her little eyes, and that was Mystique taking Wolverine. But here's the thing, and no offense, people, if you've seen X-Men Apocalypse, they do not address this. So it's just a twist that they just did to shock value. It was nothing. It was nothing important to set up in the next movie. They were never going to address this in X-Men Apocalypse. So just let you know. So then we're done. X-Men Days of Future Past is over. But we got a post-credit scene, and we got Apocalypse. They were setting up Apocalypse, and then we got X-Men Apocalypse. It was bad. Dark Phoenix is bad, and now we're in the moment where X-Men is back again in the limelight with X-Men 97, and then we get Deadpool and Wolverine coming out, and we got Hugh Jackman again coming back. So that's there. X-Men Days of Future Past. Jeff, go ahead, take the room, be yourself. This is a safe place for you. What you thought about the finale?
I try to always be myself, sir. But I do feel safe. Pardon me. Sometimes when you have one of these fucking piercings up here in like your cartilage and shit and whatnot, your headphones will start to hurt a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's hurting in my left ear, whatever you want to call it.
So I mean, really, my only to wrap it up. I guess just to surmise, overall, I thought that the ending was solid. I didn't understand why they let Magneto go. Really, that didn't really make any sense to me. I thought they should have grabbed him up, right? Like because of what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I thought they should have grabbed him up. I didn't like that. But besides that, I like what's her name, Jennifer Lawrence or whatever her fuck her name is. What is her name from Hunger Games?
Oh, yeah, Katniss from Hunger Games.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like her. I do. I like her. She was really good in that Silver Linings Playbook movie.
Yeah, she's good. Witcher's Bone. I don't know. You heard that movie? It's a good film.
We should review either one of those two on the Bleeding Edge. I'd say that I liked how it ended, how they flushed it out and everything and whatnot. How they tied up like Wolverine's arc in the film was cool. How he wakes up in the school and all that and whatnot. It doesn't really make any sense to me how that worked, right? Like I don't get that. I don't get how that makes any fucking sense. But like, okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll roll with it, right? I'm down with it. It's a good fucking movie, man. Seriously, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. If we were gonna give it ratings, this is a 10 out of 10. One of my favorite X-Men films is my number one. Still, it's one of my personal favorite Marvel movie. It's my personal favorite superhero film. It's one of the best. It's one of the best comic book.
I would tell people they'd be better off to go spend their money, invest their money to go watch this in the movie theater, rather than fucking Beetlejuice.
Hey, I agree. Is that or this, I will choose X-Men Days of Future Past over Beetlejuice. I will say that. I have no shame in that. So yeah. I seen this film.
Oh yeah, especially if you never saw it before. Fucking good, man.
Yeah, and you bring up how culturally important this film was. Like this was the end game for X-Men. You think about it. This was the next event after the first Avengers film. Like this was big, before Infinity War Endgame. So it was really impressive how they pulled off these two casts. So yeah, they delivered that. It was just a shame that they couldn't keep up the quality after this film with Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, as we talked about that how bad they were. Apparently Cyber liked Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix is better than Apocalypse, but it's still bad. But whatever.
Cyber likes a lot of like really, really weird, bad shit, like Willow. That's right, Cyber. I said it.
Yeah, that's
Willow.
You know what, Jeff? We need to make a deal. he will like the Matrix.
The one time he wanted to pick a series,
yeah,
and it was Willow. It's the one TV series that Disney Plus has ever deleted off the platform. It's not even on Disney Plus anymore. They deleted it off.
Really?
That's how bad it was.
Oh wow, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I mean,
so now I'm just kidding. Like Simon and I always talk about like what we're gonna cover, but like I pick, like at the end of the day, like I make the final decision on what we're gonna cover. Bottom line, besides the MCU stuff, and for the most part, I think I do a pretty good job.
No. We having a great selection. We have scheduled, so I've been happy. So we're
having a good year this year so far. I've given you a lot of good stuff to cover.
Yeah.
I throw a lot of good stuff at you. Doing X-Men 97 was fun.
Yeah, it was really great.
And House of the Dragon is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is going to be. So we're wrapping up now. Jeff. Brother, thank you so much for joining me today.
We didn't do ratings. I dropped my rating just to say it or whatnot, but we never did ratings.
Yeah, so let's do this. I got your channel up. So what's you say your rating is going to be 10 out of 10 for this movie?
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. I'm just saying we never did our ratings, so.
Yeah, mine was 10 out of 10, so that's my rating here. Great film, highly recommend. Happy 10th anniversary. I can't believe it's 10 years since this week came out, 2014. This week, 23rd. So I love it. Thank you, brother, for coming here. This is going to be a great start for the Memorial Day weekend. We got 2 X-Men stuff to review. This and tomorrow for X-Men 97 was great.
I'm ready to get after it. I'm ready to have a really good show on the Bleeding Edge Report. We got a lot of stuff to cover. I'm gonna have a lot of research to do tomorrow. I've still got a lot of DCU stuff I gotta get into, whatnot, everything, and make sure that I understand and all that, and whatnot. And I'll talk to Comic Book Nostalgia and see if he's coming on or not. Either way, we do have a good week this week. I'm looking forward to reviewing The Matrix 2. I think it's gonna be fun. I do.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good review. I think that Fallout, you would already know, but I wouldn't. But I think Fallout Episode 8, the finale, is going to be really good. A good review.
Yeah, I mean, great finale. I really enjoyed it. It was better than Episode 7, I would say. I think Episode 7 was kind of like a filler, but still, great show. I'm very excited to review Episode 8.
We're going to have a big show. We're going to have Matthew on, Wrath of Khan. Ben may or may not come on. I told him he could come on if he wanted to. You'll be there. I'm moderating.
Okay.
Cyber, that's right. I am moderating it. That's cool. I'm looking forward to it. I'm doing The Matrix too. I'm stoked to moderate The Matrix too. That's just gonna be dope. I'm looking forward to it. But what do you call it? That's my week to moderate, Mitch. And host the Bleeding Edge Report. It's going to be a fun week. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. What's our next project over here on your channel?
Okay. So enter June. In 2 weeks, I'm thinking to do The Mask, the Jim Carrey movie. The Mask. We can do that for the next movie review. And then we'll do Star Trek 3. In the next other 2 weeks after The Mask. So that's my plan for June right now. But I'll let you know. Okay.
We should review Seinfeld.
Oh God, that would be fun.
We should do like a 90s like do some 90s shows or something like one time I was on this this Facebook chat, right? Like we have, right? But like somebody else's. Mm-hmm. And some other creator, some other podcaster had a 90s trivia show that night, right? It was like, I don't know, it was like an hour before the show started. It was like 7 o'clock and the show started at 8, and it was 90s trivia, and it was like pick your top like 5 dramatic 90s TV series and then like regular TV series or whatever, right? Or whatever. And there were 3 other people on there. And like the guy just like randomly did a meet. It was like, hey, does anybody want to come on? And I was like, yo, throw me a link. So I jumped on there with all these people I never met, right? And I love the 90s. And I went out there, and it was so much fun. We went for like 2.5 hours. And like I tried to make all my picks be the kind of ones where nobody else would pick them. Like not the obvious stuff like Seinfeld. I went to the stuff where I thought nobody else would pick it. You know? It turned out a lot of people tried to do that too. But it was great. We were talking about Law and Order and like Sex in the City and like, the Seinfeld, right? The Simpsons and whatnot. I love talking about 90s shit.
Yeah. No, I understand.
It's
We'll
fun.
do that. We'll probably do that one time. Maybe in July when I come back from my vacation. We'll probably do that. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining me today. We're gonna head out. Thank you, Jeff, for joining me. Have a good day.
I'm going on vacation too, sir. I'm going to one of those sex resorts where like where it's like an adult, not like an adult, but like a porn, resort, like like where it's like a swingers resort.
Oh my god. Anyway, all right. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you, Jeff, for that.